So my process of mixing places much emphasis on the final stages of production. Finishing a song or beat, I find, is a never-ending process and can take you for a long ride if you're not careful, and wind you up in the process as I occasionally obsess over various minor details until I muster the courage to say stop. That's enough after numerous test listens on a range of different platforms like the car, the kitchen, on a friend's computer, and X, Y, and Z. If I know I'm mixing, I tend to like to start as early as possible. I find the process of mixing, refining, and steering a process of direction prior to mastering, like you're finally putting the last bits of energy into the composition or arrangement. To me, this process is extremely spiritual as well as physical. So to acknowledge this, I tend to find myself reflecting, finding quiet spaces at remote times, meditating, and then for the most part embracing prayer, so I can be relaxed enough to allow the energy to come to me. I feel it's important to embrace the space and be loose enough to generate maximum effort. The great Nikola Tesla states that the mind is sharper and keener in seclusion and uninterrupted solitude. No big laboratory is needed in which to think. Originality thrives in seclusion, free from the outside influence, beating upon us to cripple the creative mind. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. That is why many of the earthly miracles have had their genesis in humble surroundings. So much like the current quotes, I like to be still and I like to focus, especially with the mixing process. I like to focus on each component while the song's playing, so I can get a rough idea of where I want the song to end up. So while the arrangement is playing, I like to focus on all of the components in the arrangement, trying to add more dynamics to the intricate parts of the composition. This song in particular, starting with the kick, working my way up, from the kick onto the percussion, then onto the bass lines, then the chords and pads, and finally all of the other elements that make the music full. I primarily work in Logic Pro, employing simple tools as well as various samples and hardware to create this piece of music, which has allowed me to kind of create this and get that real kind of groove going. I'm also a big fan of using stock plugins that reside within Logic Pro, specifically the Reverb Bundle and the Space Designer, which I tend to place on different parts of the percussion to add body to the mix. I also like to add some slight delays, specifically tape delays, to various parts of the percussion to kind of create that movement. I'm also a big fan of drums and enjoy creating and feeling movement within my drum arrangements to kind of, add and provide that character. Within this particular track, there are various samples embedded that I've snipped from other factions to help with the variety of audio one-shots as well. Now the audio one-shots and different samples also kind of add that character. Specifically with this song, it kind of gives, a lot of movement and a lot of vibe to the drum groove. So with this track in particular, it was kind of inspired by, or was inspired by, shall I say, the growth and prominence of Afro/funky house, with the elements, from South Africa and other western parts of Africa intermixed, with a low dub sub-like type of vibe, which is generally inspired by, the large dance/electronic scene that we have here in London. I wanted to make, like a fusion that incorporated those elements from those influences in order to move the listener and create that groove, that dance floor kind of groove, which is, more related to, kind of going out and kind of having a good time, as well as having that chill element, that you can be at home, kind of cleaning, doing your thing. And you can also kind of create that same feeling wherever you're at. I will and almost certainly include or have a vocal feature to help lift and drive the track in the near future and kind of take it to that next level. So to conclude our journey thus far, please like, comment and subscribe, as well as click on the links below in the description for more music bits and bobs. Okay, until the next time, peace.